Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, welcome to period 2 of the 2024 Ancient Planetary System. I did period 1, which was the March 19th until May 10th, which is today. So the end of period 1 is over. And now we're moving on to our earthly cycle, period number 2, also called the moon cycle. So for the next 52 days, the moon is going to be vibrating the strongest and affecting things that are happening on planet Earth. Now, just to remind you, this is an ancient planetary cycle, and all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. And that's in regards to the 7 ancient planets. They're called the 7 ancient planets because they are the planets that you can see with the bare naked eye without a telescope. So for 2024, the planetary cycles, we are now in a moon cycle in the Saturn year. 2024 is a Saturn year. So we have the Saturn year, and then the year is divided into 7 periods. We just finished period 1. Always starts on the spring equinox. It ends today, May the 10th, and tomorrow we start the moon cycle or period 2, and it runs May 11th to July 1st. So we are in the moon cycle in a Saturn year. Now, I forgot to mention in the last one what is applicable in a Saturn year. And in a Saturn year is you work slow and steady. This is not a year for impulsive action. This is a year you want to finish projects. This is the taskmaster year. If there's been something that has been hanging over your head, this is the year that Saturn will bring it to your attention. So get that renovation done in the house. Look after your health. If there's something that you have been neglecting, Saturn is either going to make it blow up and disappear or bring you to task on it. Saturn does not like things overhanging into the next year, because the next year is going to be a sun year, which is a new beginnings. So Saturn likes to tidy everything up. Saturn is the endings year. So this would be a great year if you wanted to retire, especially if you're over age 67. This year is very applicable to you if you are over age 67. The Saturn years are your years. You can find that your efforts will bear fruit. So finish those projects. If you're trying to build that garage or get that landscaping done, working on a book, you want to move somewhere. Let's see, you've been talking for years about moving. This would be the year to do that. It's a great year for things that are deep in the earth. Things like oil, you'll find oil and gas will do really well. Gold. I've already mentioned in one of my other predictions that this would be the year for gold, and time is telling it is. This is also anything to do with trees, because the roots of the tree go deep, deep, deep into the earth. Same with fungi, mushrooms, anything that is deep like relies on earth. So crystals. You might find that you really resonate with crystals this year, depending what crystal it is. The color black is very prominent this year. Judges will be very prominent this year, and we can see that when some of the court cases that are coming through, like for the Trump thing or whatever. Now, Saturn has many other aspects to it. Iron, for example. You might find that you might have to watch the iron in your body this year. Also, nothing impulsive. You can start things in a Saturn year, But just make sure that it is something that grows slow and steady. Saturn is not an impulsive planet whatsoever. And if you try and push Saturn, it'll slam you right back down. Also, believe it or not, a lot of people say that Saturn is a masculine energy planet, but it also speaks to what we call, and what I call lovingly, the crone. And the crone is a wisdom woman, a woman who has a lot of wisdom, has lived a lot of years, the matriarch of the family, and she wears her wisdom with pride. And Saturn rules that as well. So we might find older women rising to prominence this year as well. It's their time in the sun, as they say. All right, so enough with what's going on in the year. We are now in the moon cycle of the year. And the moon cycle is, we want to get things done within these 52 days. So this would be a great time. Like it's a terrible time to buy a home, but it's a great time to move into a home. And when we apply the Saturn taskmaster to our moon cycle, we can really get a lot done. So even if this isn't your highlighted time, and I'll go on and I'll explain that a little bit better, you can still get those projects going, but as long as you finish them up in these next 52 days before July 1st. So this is a great time to plant a garden. Make sure the garden is in by July 1st. We look at it, the moon cycle is also a terrible time to invest in the stock market. And I can't give you financial advice. This isn't financial advice. I'm just telling you what the moon can do. What you do with this information is your own accord. I would not invest in the stock market between May 1st and May 11th and July 1st. And it's so interesting to me because there's a saying on Wall Street and in the stock market, go away in May. And then you come back in the autumn time again. I believe it's November. And so that's so interesting to me because it's not a great time to invest in anything that has to have a long-term payout. So maybe, I don't know, maybe like if you're a day trader, you might find some luck. But if you're investing in a stock market for a retirement fund or a mutual fund for a retirement fund, I would not do that until after, at least not during this moon cycle in the Saturn year, between May 11th and July 1st. All right? All right. So without further ado, let's get going with your birth date and how this is going to affect your year. So this is the order that I'm going to state the general things that you should be doing during this time. So of course, the first one I'm going to do is if you were born between May 11th and July 1st. Now, this is where it gets confusing. You are in your first period. You are in your sun period during the moon cycle during the Saturn year. So you see how it can sometimes, you have to really be on the ball what you're doing. And you are also a moon personality. If you're born July 2nd to August 22nd, you'll go into the second period, which is actually you'll be in the 7th period, which is the Saturn period. August 23rd to October 13th, you'll be in the 6th period. October 14th to December 4th, you'll be in the 5th period. December 5th to January 25th, you'll be in the 4th period. January 26th to March 18th, you're in your 3rd period. And March 19th to May 10th, you are now in your 2nd period. And if you're born between March 19th and May 10th, you actually follow the natural Earth cycles. But I want you to remember that if you were born in the last third of these 52 days, you may want to read the preceding description as well. So for example, if you're born, let's say July or June 20th to July 1st, you may want to still read March 19th to May 10th, because that would be the one before you. I know that's kind of confusing. I'll try and explain it as we go along. Timestamps will be in down below for you. So without further ado, let's get started. Now you're going to recognize a lot of these from the first video I did, and it's just because it's just 7 cycles that repeat year after year. And once you get to know them, then you can fit them into your calendar. So this is if your birthday is May 11th to July 1st, you are in period 1, the sun cycle during a Saturn year. In the Earth moon cycle, and you are a moon personality. So the next 52 days will be all about you. The sun is shining on you, putting you in the spotlight. Until July 1st, it is your turn to advance anything that you would like to be public. This is a warning not to be sloppy with what you don't want out in public. It is not a great time to start anything. Still, it's a great time to network, seek partnerships, apply for promotions, seek favors, nurture relationships with authority figures, have a court case, be in public in any capacity, build up credit, put your name forward, build up your reputation, being your own cheerleader, and getting your name out to people in high positions who can someday help you. This is not a great time for making sales, but for building up your networking and referrals. Watch out for speeding tickets and don't do anything illegal. This is a great time to build up your energy levels with plenty of time spent outdoors under the sun. Great results come with ordinary wellness, drinking water, eating basic foods, and doing general movement with walking. Watch exercises and foods that heat the body, such as starches and raw or rare meats, and I would add spicy foods to that as well. The eyes will be highly sensitive at this time, so be careful under the sun or bright lights. If good health has eluded you, this is the best time all year to have a surgical procedure or start a new health regime with the set suggestions above. All right, so this, if you have you been looking at that promotion at work, this would be a great time to talk to your manager about it. This, if you have any kind of problems with your cable bill, your cell phone bill, whatever, this would be a great time to ask to speak to the supervisor or the manager. You'll find that they're more than willing to help you out for some reason, and they don't know why. 2 weeks ago, they didn't want to talk to you. Now all of a sudden they do. This would also be a great time if you applied for a loan and you were told no. Remember, this isn't something you've started. Do not apply for a loan that you haven't applied for before during this time. There's better times to do that. But if you applied for a loan at some point, a mortgage or a loan, and the answer was no, you can go back now and ask again, and you'll be surprised that the answer will be yes, even though some things have not changed at all. All right, so because this is a sun cycle during a Saturn year, whatever you start during this cycle, even though it says it's not a good time, but sometimes you just have to, right? You know, your boss gives you a promotion without you asking, or, you know, you have to move. You got a notice from your landlord or whatever. And because this is during a Saturn year, look for things that are basic if you have to start something. Very basic, very down to earth. Especially notice if there's a number 7 or a number 8 in something. So if you have to move to a new address, make sure it has a 7 or an 8 in it. And if you can, right, do your best you can. I mean, this isn't all written in stone. And if your birthday is later in these 52 days, July, let's say June 20th to July 1st, then I would continue to look at on this video, look at period 7. This will still apply to you for the next couple of weeks. All right, it's a big 52 days is a big spread, and if you're closer to May 11th, then this is going to apply to you right away. And the further you get away from May 11th, there's a little bit of a lag. All right. So happy birthday and welcome to your sun cycle, and do what you can with it. Network there, go meet friends, get out there, nurture relationships, and you'll be surprised how the sun will carry you along during this time. All right, so if your birthday is July 2nd to August 22nd, you are in your period 7. You are in your Saturn cycle in a Saturn year, and you are a Mars personality. The first thing I want to tell you is please be very careful during these next 52 days, May 11th to July 1st. This is a time that when you're in a Saturn cycle, in a Saturn year, be careful that you don't catch anything in like a cold. Anything that does happen to your health during this time, you'll find it's very difficult and a long process to bring yourself back to health. This is also a very dangerous time for you. I hate fear-based, but you know what? Forewarned is forearmed. This could be a time of great losses for you, Saturn and Saturn, especially if things were about to dissipate anyway. So if your marriage is just an absolute, there's just no turning back on it, you'll find this is a time that Saturn will take the marriage away from you either way. If you hate your job, if this job is no good for you, you'll find that Saturn will take your job away. This is not a good time to take any kind of risks or do anything impulsive, and that includes any kind of sports activities. Please be ultra careful while you're driving. Don't put yourself in any kind of dangerous situations. I would definitely I would just be so careful between this May 11th and July 1st if you were in a Saturn cycle in a Saturn year with a Mars personality. Like I said, I don't want to fearmonger, but I also don't want to brush this over lightly. This is a dire warning, and forewarned is forearmed. Please pay attention to your surroundings. If your business is not doing well, you'll find that Saturn takes it away from you. And in some respects, Saturn takes those things away from you because it knows something better is coming. Remember, Saturn is the taskmaster, and it's something that is no longer bringing you to your benefit. And when Saturn takes something away, it always leaves room for something new. So when one door closes, another door opens. All right? So let's get ahead with what's going on for you from May 11th until July 1st, if your birthday is July 2nd to August 22nd. The next 52 days will be all about what needs to leave, what isn't working, and karma. If something, a marriage, a job, business project has been a struggle, it might just completely collapse during this second period of the year. This is so it can be rebuilt from a fresh platform or put away for good. If you need to start something over or revisit, this is the best time the whole year to consider your options. It is very easy to become pessimistic and destructive these 52 days, so take care not to destroy something that could be fixable. Impulsiveness will bring disaster during this period of the year. Hold off any new ideas and beginnings until later in the year when the energies are better. This is a good time to deal with judges and police matters. It's also a good time to apply for any papers of protection, such as wills and patents. It's also a good time to deal with anything to do with land, real estate, mines, and minerals, or anything to do with the earth or what lives within the earth. Voyages, especially far-off places, should be avoided. Depression, colds, and other maladies contacted during these 52 days will tend to linger or be difficult to cure. It is very easy to become despondent and lack energy. If your body is tired, let it rest. This is not a good time for any type of remedial medication or operation unless it is an emergency, of course. All five senses are affected during this period. This is the most serious time of the year for your health. And I mean that in the most warning way. A Saturn cycle in a Saturn year. And please eat properly, eat basic. Don't, go for walks. Don't overextend yourself. I didn't mean don't go for walks. I meant go for walks. Don't overextend yourself. So for example, maybe if you go out jogging or, you'll blow your knee out or something. Just really, really be careful. All right. I hope I'm not scaring you, because there are some great things you can do during a Saturn cycle in a Saturn year, like wrap things up, right? Maybe it is the best to end your marriage. Maybe it is the best to quit that job. Maybe it's the best thing that'll ever happen to you. Okay? All right. So now we go on to the next set of birthdays. This is the August 23rd to October 13th. If your birthday falls in those dates, this is your period 6. You are in a Venus cycle in a Saturn year, and you are a Mercury personality. The next 52 days are the best time to go on a short holiday. So this is between May 11th and July 1st. This is the time for pleasure and relaxation, so the trip should be short and sweet, not long and arduous, and not over water. Your affairs will continue with ease and will be a joy. This is the best time to purchase things for the home or yourself, especially if they are luxurious and will not put you into debt. This is the best time to make new friends, especially if they come into your life in a completely social or unexpected way. It is also a good time to renew friendships that have grown apart or stale. It is the best time all year to deal with women, socially and in business, and women will find it's a great time to deal with men socially. It is a great time of the year to enjoy luxury in all aspects: clothes, trips, jewelry, perfumes, wine, food, spas, and so on. As long as you can afford it, this is the time of year to spoil and adorn yourself. It is considered a lucky time to speculate, especially when investing in luxurious items. But beware, it is the wrong time for overindulgence of any type. Plenty of water and fiber should be consumed, the complete digestive tract, and rest when needed. Take time to be in a beautiful garden or park. Now, I know I said this is not a great time for investments, but for you Mercury personalities, this is a time of year to invest in something luxurious. So, don't invest in Gap, invest in Louis Vuitton, that kind of thing. And you'll find you'll have a little bit of luck with that. But we are in a Saturn year. And just because it's a good time to invest in something like that, Saturn might make the investment take a really long time to come to fruition. Now, it would be if something luxurious that is in a Saturn year would be gold. And again, what you do with this information is of your own accord. The disclaimer is down below. But if I was a Mercury personality and I'm in my Venus cycle in a Saturn year between May 11th and July 1st, this is when I would be looking at gold, platinum, and you don't even have to really invest in it. Maybe you buy yourself a beautiful gold ring. You find in 10 years from now, its value has skyrocketed, or a watch, something like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be stocks. All right, this would also be a great time to invest in a vineyard, because wine and vines are of the earth. This would be a great time again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying if this was my time to invest and this came up for me, these are the kind of things I might be looking at. All right. So that's what for this Venus cycle in a Saturn year. Think of luxurious things that are luxurious from the earth, gold, platinum, diamonds, things that are deep within the earth, any kind of, gemstone, that kind of thing, anything that's agricultural that way, but that's luxurious, like wine, right? Don't think I would invest in like watermelons, that kind of thing. It'd be something that's a little bit more luxurious that is from the earth. Okay? And also, again, remember, if you are closer, let's say October 1st to October 13th, you need to look at the previous slide or the next slide, which is the period 5. It'll take a while for this period 6 to actually take effect for you. And that's if your birthday's after October 1st. I would wait a couple more weeks before this period 6 comes into fruition for you. You'll still be in a period 5, which I'm going to read about next, for a couple of weeks into May. All right, I hope I'm not confusing you. Let's go on to the next one. So, if your birthday is from October 14th to December 4th, you are in period 5. You are in a Jupiter cycle in a Saturn year, and you are a Jupiter personality. So this is a great time for you. Absolutely a great time for you. Now, if your birthday is, let's say, November 20th to December 4th, I would wait a couple of more weeks for this to come into fruition. Now, Jupiter and Saturn are complete opposites. Jupiter is expansion and brings luck and things easy and manifestation. And Saturn is contraction and taskmaster. And things don't come to you lucky. It comes through hard work. So it's interesting that a Jupiter cycle in a Saturn year might feel like might be, oh, look at that. The clock agrees with me here. It won't be as fruitful as if it was in a different year. So Saturn is going to, so for example, you win, $10 on the lottery instead of 100, right? That kind of thing. You'll find your luck is contracted. You'll have a little bit of, let's say you go for a promotion and you'll get one job, but you won't get the top job that you wanted. That kind of luck. It's contracted luck. That's the best way I can explain it. So here we go for your period 5, your Jupiter cycle in a Saturn year. The next 52 days for you are considered the luckiest and best for success in all aspects of the whole year. It is the easiest time of the year for our personal and business to expand and increase in prosperity. Manifestation seems to happen easily during these 52 days for you. You'll find you're more interested in philosophy, society, and honesty, and are more empathetic towards people. It is an excellent time to deal with lawyers, professors, doctors, wealthy people, or anyone of good standing. This is a great time to start any study in the mystical or the arcane. You will find it is a good time to collect money that is owed or to invest. This is generally a very lucky time overall in all affairs. Beware of incurring any debt, as this tends to expand during these 52 days. I'm just going to interject here, especially during a Saturn year. You'll find that incurring any debt during this Saturn year will take a really long time to pay off. Anything tricky or underhanded will ensure a larger karmic reaction than normal, so stay in integrity at all times. Saturn will slam you if you try and do anything underhanded. Health should be very good, especially if a normal lifestyle is engaged. This is the best time all year to adopt good breathing hygiene and to spend time outdoors in fresh air. This is the worst time all year to overindulge with food and drinks, as weight or other maladies due to overindulgence will tend to continue to expand beyond this period. This is the best time to overcome chronic conditions. This is the best time all year to engage mind-body suggestions and energy healing with thoughts. So especially if it has something to do with bones, Saturn is your bones. If you have any kind of arthritis, any kind of chronic, your bones crack or, stiffness in that way, this is the best time for you because we're in a Jupiter cycle in a Saturn year. All right. But please do not over expand anything. Yes, you'll be lucky. This is the luckiest time. And unfortunately, it's during a Saturn year. We all have to have our luckiest time during a Saturn year at one point in our in the cycles. So again, it'll be something like, you go to the casino and maybe you win $100 instead of 1,000, that kind of thing. This is also lucky for success again between May 11th and July 1st, because we're in a Saturn year during a moon period. You're like, all of a sudden, what's this moon period? I would not, even though this is your lucky time, I don't think I would invest in the stock market or anything that has to have a long-term success. So it's not a great time to sign any kind of contract. And I know that's kind of a bummer, but there are a lot of things that you can be lucky with, and that's like turning your health around, doing things with relationships. If you have to deal with a lawyer, it'll be lucky for that. Okay. So that's what I would concentrate on if your birthday is between October 14th and December 4th. And remember, if your birthday is from November 20th to December 4th, this actually will take a couple more weeks to activate for you. Okay, well, good luck with your luckiest time of the year, and better a little luck than none at all, right? Okay, so our next period. If your birthday is between December 5th and January 25th, you are in period 4, a Mercury period in a Saturn year, and you are a Venus personality. All right, so this is again for you from May 11th till July 1st, and especially if your birthday is, let's say, January 15th to January 25th, you might want to look at the next slide as well because it'll still be applicable for you for the next couple of weeks. All right. So this is actually going to be not a great period for you because you're a Venus personality and you love earthly things that you can touch. A luxury in your clothes that you wear, jewelry, drinking a glass of wine. But this period, this Mercury period, is mental and nervous energy. And this can be some of a dangerous time actually for you for mental stress, especially for things that want to leave your life. Your marriage, your job, and you'll find that you'll have a lot of mental stress on this. And I really want you to listen to some of the remedies for this mental stress, because if you do not handle it during this May 11th to July 1st timeline, it'll be very difficult to fix, and honestly, a breakdown can occur. A complete mental psychotic breakdown can occur if you're not careful. All right, so let's go ahead and read what is up for your next 52 days. The next 52 days, you'll be filled with mental or nervous energy versus the physical energy of the period previous, the one that you just got out of. It's an excellent time for writing of any type, studies, memory work, quick thinking, content creation, photography, and anything to do with words and thoughts. You'll find ideas come quickly and naturally to you during this period. It is safe to act upon impulses and put them into practical action. And I want to emphasize that it is safe for you to act on impulses and put them into practical action. Do not act on impulses that are not practical. You are in a Saturn year. So, for example, You see a beautiful diamond ring and it's way over your budget, and you're just like, I'm gonna buy it. That's a terrible practical thing to do. Or I'm going on, you see a sale for a trip to Mexico for a week and you decide, yeah, I'm going to go do it. That's terrible. But if you have some kind of impulse that's practical, that's like, oh, I should clean this cupboard out. Oh, I should, call my friend. And then you call them and you actually follow up on it. Or I should apply for this job. You have this impulse, some kind of intuition, but it's practical, go for it. If it's not practical, do not. Saturn will make you pay dearly. Anyways, I'll continue. Your intuition will be highly charged, and if you have trouble hearing your intuition, this is the best time to work on increasing the ability to trust your intuition. This is a good time to work with anything in the media, including social media. Artists are more creative during this period. A warning about this period, as this is the period during the whole year when thieves and scammers will be attracted to you. This is the time of year when the loss of important papers, stolen money, scam investments, identity theft, and falsehoods abound. Be aware at all times and don't believe everything you hear. Many of the great losses occur during this period. It is not a good time to enter into marriage, to return from long journeys, to buy a home or business. During this period, your nervous system will be overworked. With too much studying, reading, or concentrating on one subject, bringing much stress to the body. More sleep and rest are needed here more than any time during the year. If you're tired, lay down. Take a rest. If you don't listen to what the stress levels are trying to tell you, a mental breakdown can occur. And I have seen this happen. This is forewarned, is forearmed. I'm not belittling this at all. Especially with a Venus personality, because you tend to be, you love your luxurious, your earthly kind of items, and you'll be attracted to those because it's a Saturn year and Saturn is of the earth. But if you're impulsive with it, like, let's buy that home, let's get married, let's go on that trip, I'm buying this beautiful diamond ring that I can't afford, Saturn will really make you pay for that. So follow your intuition, follow your impulses, as long as it's practical. All right. But this is a good time to, I would start, if you're a writer, start a book. Saturn will assist you to get the task done. Not necessarily during these 52 days, but if you start it during this time, Saturn will ensure, because Saturn's a taskmaster, Saturn will ensure that that book eventually gets done. If you're a painter, start that painting, and Saturn will make sure that you get it done. All right, but also be really, really careful with that warning about thieves and scammers during this time. So between May 11th and July 1st, be on guard. Be on guard. You'll be a sitting duck. I just want to tell you that with Saturn there, especially if you have some karma that you have done something underhanded, or, who knows, maybe you sold a car and you knew the muffler was going to fall off and that kind of thing. Ooh, Saturn's coming for you. Not saying it's going to be something terrible, but so think of some of those things that you did, and Saturn is willing to make you clean up that karma during these next 52 days, and Saturn will bring it to you in the form of somebody who will take your money. So as long as your slate is clean, you don't have to worry about that as much as if you've maybe you got a refund bigger than it should have been, or Saturn's always watching. All right, so have a good 52 days. All right, so now if your birthday's from January 26th to March 18th, you are in period 3, the Mars period in a Saturn year. Now, and you are also a Saturn personality. So, and again, if your birthday is like March 1st to March 18th, I would look at the next slide. You're probably still in your period 2 time, and this will take you a couple of weeks to catch up into this. But if your birthday's January 26th to March 1st, this could apply to you right away. So you're in a Mars period in a Saturn year, and you're a Saturn personality. This is not going to be a great time for you. This is a good time to start a gym program, and it'll last a very long time as long as you're lifting heavy things. This isn't a great time to do like a cardio program per se, but if you're doing anything kind of physical heavy work, this would be a great time to do that. This is a great time actually to go on a diet, to do any kind of restrictions that way, or change your diet. Let's say you want to go to become a vegetarian and restrict meat out of your diet. This would be a great time to start that. So anything that you want to restrict, if you want to cut people out of your life, this would be a great time to do that. It's just, you're going to find that you almost feel like you're walking through sand these whole next 52 days. On the other hand, anything to do that's deep-seated in the earth, any kind of real estate, this is a great time for any kind of real estate. This is a terrible time for relationships. If between May 11th and July 1st, if your marriage or your relationship is going to end, it's going to end now, and it might not end on a pretty note. Oh, sorry to say. This would be the big explosive kind of fight. This is not a good time to enter into war. If a country or somebody enters into war during this time, as if the country's birthday is between January 26th and March 18th, they'll find that war will never end. It'll be difficult to end that war. And that includes in your own personal life with people. It will just, so either end the relationship or zip it till after July 1st. All right. I don't know if I would really invest in anything this year during this time. And that goes because you are a Saturn personality in a Saturn year. You might want to go back to the beginning there and listen to some of the things for the Saturn year. Because it applies to you doubly. So let's get on and see what the next 52 days are the best time of the year to engage in heavy physical work or work that needs a steady pace over a long time. Again, great time to join a gym if you're doing weightlifting, not if you're doing cardio. If you need to overcome any great labor project, this is the time to do it. Clean out that shed, paint the house, anything that actually takes physical labor. You'll find you have more energy than normal and enthusiasm to start projects. However, this is also a karmic period, and the universe tends to dish out rewards or tasks during this period, especially during a Saturn year. Saturn's just waiting to dish out that karma, trust me. If the energy that wants to express itself is directed properly, this is the best time of the year to start a business, especially if it's a business that works in the military, sharp objects, weapons, gyms, fire, heating, electrical, or any male-focused business. So I wouldn't do like an online marketing. But if you had a business that, let's say you're an electrician and you wanted to start your own electrical business, this would be a great time. If you wanted to open a gym, this would be a great time. If you wanted to become a trainer, a coach, a trainer, this would be a great time. If you wanted to start a chimney sweep business, this would be a great time. But this is not a great time to start any kind of consulting, stock market business, life insurance business, that kind of thing. There's better times to do that. Your vitality and physical body will be at its best, and this is the best time to start a new exercise program. However, if this energy is misspent, projects started will not be completed, and there is a real threat of burnout. This is the best time of the year to deal with enemies or competitors if sheer physical labor will win. However, using arguments, words, or the legal system will result in nothing being settled. This is the best time for salespeople or lecturers who have to give a forceful speech to win their favor. This is an unfavorable time to deal with women, and women should know that it's the most favorable time to deal with men. Many quarrels, arguments, and strife occur, and this should be avoided because they will not end well for anyone involved. This is not a good time to get married. This is the time when accidents happen or sudden surgeries come into your life. Please be careful around sharp items and fire. Do not overeat and keep the body cool when possible. Heartburn is at its worst during these 52 days. Breakouts and rashes can occur if the bowels are not kept clean. The blood pressure can be the highest all year during this time. Any abnormal physical pressure on the body will lead to a physical breakdown. And that's what I mean by if you're out jogging and you're pushing yourself, you might blow out your knee, that kind of thing. It's a great time to start an exercise program, but don't push yourself. You'll lead to a physical breakdown. But here's the thing, it's a Saturn year. Anything that happens physically to your body during this time, you'll find it'll be very difficult to heal, and it will take a very, very long time. I'm not sure I would do any kind of reconstructive surgery during this time. I also, that message to keep the body cool, well rested, don't push things is also a warning. I also would be very careful about being in big crowds during this time. That's just part of Saturn, the Saturn part. This is the time. It's a really good time to be quiet and self-reflect in some regards with the double Saturn here. Even though it's a great year to do heavy physical work, it's a great time to work by yourself. So that's what I mean by you're an electrician and you're tired of working for a company. This would be a great time to start your own business, working for yourself. Now, I don't know, like any male-focused business, that would be maybe like a gym only for men. Male-focused business would be maybe like motorcycles, right? Even though, yes, I know women ride motorcycles, but generally they appeal to men, like a Harley Davidson, for example. That's what I think what they mean by male-focused businesses. And I'm sure you can think of some of them as well. But just really please be careful during this Mars period in a Saturn year. I would not speed. I would not take any chances. Like, don't go bungee jumping. Don't go, like I said, watch out for large crowds. I would really consider keeping things really close to your chest, like it says about starting arguments and whatnot. But if it is something terrible that you want to end, this would be a great time to end it. It'll be great for everybody involved. If you keep your mouth zipped, don't start a big argument. And again, please be, warned that if your birthday's after March 1st, I would read the next slide, and that'll apply for you for the next couple of weeks. This period 3 probably won't apply for you until at least the end of May. All right? So please take good care of yourself. All right. So, and finally, If your birthday is between March 19th and May 10th, you are in your second period, the moon period in a Saturn year. We follow the Earth period. I'm saying we because I'm in this, my birthday falls in this time. So we follow the Earth period. And so we'll always be on track. This is period 2 is a moon period. But we are a sun personality. So this is for May the 11th to July 1st. First thing I would not do is I would not do anything that you don't want to last a very long time. During this moon period, this moon is the fastest planet because it moves around us every 29 days. 29 and a half or whatever. So it's a fast moving cycle. And we just came out of our sun cycle, and now we want, we're kind of biting at the bit here that we want things to get moving. And things that we don't want to do during this cycle is sign any kind of contract. We certainly don't want to do any kind of investing. Now, we are in a moon period in a Saturn year. It might, if you have to buy a home or move during this time, this is a great time to move into a new home because you want it done over and quick but it's a terrible time to buy a new home or sign a new lease or start a new business or anything like that. Now, if you absolutely have to, I would look for something with a 7 or an 8 in the address. I would also look for something that is black, like a black house, or maybe the apartment has some black on it. I would look for Saturn things because Saturn will make it a little bit more stable. But I would certainly not do any kind of investing during this time, even for moon things like our water and dairy and whatnot. I still wouldn't do it. It will take forever for you to get your money back. So this is just between May 11th and July 1st. So these next 52 days will be perfect for things that start and end within these 52 days. Anything started during this time will not last very long, except because this is a Saturn year. So if you take out a loan, that loan will take forever to pay off. If you buy a home, you'll find that you'll have a very difficult time to sell it. That kind of thing. All right? But otherwise, Saturn here is the taskmaster. So any kind of tasks started during this time will not last very long. So, clean out that closet, clean out that garage, get that garden planted. Saturn is here to help you with that during these next 52 days. So, anything started in that regards, it's a good time to wrap them up. For example, this is the perfect time for moving into a home, but buying a home during this period will result in another move sooner than you want. This is a time for items that are short, quick, and over with soon. Short, quick journeys or journeys over water are favored during this time. This is favorable to movable items, such as sending packages or deliveries, moving freight, automobiles, transportation, traveling shows, circuses, caterers, pop-up markets, hotels, traffic, things that move by quickly, or working with companies that specialize in these industries will go smoothly. Anything to do with liquids, such as oil and gasoline, dairy, water, movement of water, car washes, tides, or businesses that deal with these will also go smoothly. Do not start anything of significance during this time, including contracts, legal proceedings, or marriage. This would be a good time to move into a stepping stone job, as you will move up to the next level quickly. Any agricultural efforts will prove to be a success. Do not loan or borrow money. Do not start any construction. Do not invest, gamble, or play the stock market during this period. Temporary conditions may interfere with your health, such as headaches, digestion upset, passing despondency, aches and pains, minor colds and flu. Anything that lasts a few days and then disappears on its own is apt to occur during this time. All right. It's just, we've got a Saturn wet blanket on this as well. So I would take a lot of these things that say don't do this into real consideration. Now it does say it's great for moving freight or sending packages or whatnot. Because we're in a Saturn year, it might take a day or two longer than normal because Saturn slows things down. But it will get there in due time. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out were anything to do with liquids such as oil and gasoline. Now, that is of the ground, and that is in a Saturn year. So, working with that, so for example, let's say you're a consultant and you consult with oil and gas, will go smoothly, but investing in something in oil and gas will not go very smoothly. That's a really stern warning between May 11th and July 1st about the investments. But again, as I've told others, I can't give you any financial advice. There's a full disclaimer down below, and what you do with this information is of your own accord. All right, I'm just telling you what I would do, what I'm going to do in my moon period in a Saturn year. I'm definitely not going to start anything of significance during this time. If Saturn doesn't like it, it'll just slam it right down. It's not as karmic as the other periods, but Saturn and the moon really don't get along. Saturn's really slow and deliberate and the taskmaster. And the moon period is really fast moving, nothing significant, nothing long lasting. So they're kind of really at odds here. So you might find that you are also at odds. This is a hurry up and wait time for you. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. That's going to be your theme for these next 52 days. Now, if your birthday is later April to May 10th, this is going to take a few more weeks to become active for you. You're still in period 1, so you can go back to that slide at least for the next couple of weeks, and so that will be applicable to you. And then this one will click in. Just count 52 days from your birthday and figure out which period that you're in. And the clock agrees with me. So I've got a little ducky here. It's up here in the northern hemisphere. We're in the baby birds and ducks and geese time of the year. Spring has sprung, the grass is riz, and we're deep into spring now, and we're right in the middle between spring and summer, and we got all these beautiful little baby bunnies and ducks, and the world is anew. Thank you very much for watching. I sure hope you appreciated this. As much as I appreciate doing this for you, please let me know if you want me to continue with this. I'm going to be posting a full big course on this, how you can apply this to your life, to individualize this for yourself, how to figure out the best times for you and your partner, and different things about your health, work, career, love, when to get married, all of it. It's an amazing course, and I know a lot of you have the book, but what I'm going to be teaching in the course are the other little secret things that you learn that are not public information. Well, thank you again. Please take good care. See you online. Bye for now.